Now, even though I am not the biggest fan of Cole Young, but it's not Louis Tanz's fault of how the characters came off. But I think it's safe to say that when he says that Mortal Kombat 2 will have wild, crazy nonsense and longer fights, it's a good time to be a Mortal Kombat fan. So I'm definitely am excited about this once again. So let's get to it. When Mortal Kombat emerged as a surprise hit during perhaps the most challenging time to release a movie in recent years, demanding fans of the source video games were excited to see where the franchise would go next. Mortal Kombat 2 is in the works, and according to the film star Louis Tan, the sequel will closely align with what the fans' core fan base is expecting. Speaking with columnists and at the ongoing San Diego Comic-Con, Tan teased several new details about the sequel, including more gore, longer fight sequences, and a ramped up tone. I like this. He said that everybody working on the first movie paid attention to what people are writing, what people are talking about, what people like, and what they didn't like about the first movie. Mortal Kombat 2, he said, will also have a tournament that fans can look forward to, but he declined to share more details about it. We've made it 100 times better in the second movie based on what we learned from the first. He teased nodding the addition of the boy star Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Tan also spoke about how different the tone of the sequel will be in comparison to the first movie, which was relatively reined in as far as major franchise pictures are concerned. It did, after all, ground the game's Tan's character, an MMA fighter named Cole Young. Tan said that Mortal Kombat 2 will have more wild, crazy nonsense now that they've cracked how to approach the lore of the games in its own words. I would like to say that the tone is slightly different, is a little more ramped up. Like I said, it's hard to tackle and navigate that storyline because they did it with a new character that's not in the game, right? It's like, whose story do we tell? How do we tell it? How do we introduce this to the audience of people that don't know about Mortal Kombat as well as some of the fans? We tackled that problem in the first movie, and now it's just off to the races. We could just go for it. So the second movie has wild, crazy nonsense and is incredible. So I like what he said, that even though a lot of people didn't really like his character, some did and some didn't, including me, because I didn't really like Cole Young because of how he was introduced, and he was the main protagonist of the first film, which is something I'm not the biggest fan of. But I think what they should do is utilize his character a lot better. You know, just give him something to do in the tournament. He could be the descendant of Scorpion, but have it be done right. And if you do that, I think he'll be the most respected character in Mortal Kombat history. Or better yet, you could just make him a DLC character in the next Mortal Kombat game, for all I care. So yeah, I respect Louis Tan for what he said in this interview, because a lot of us are really excited about this because we know this film is going to be coming out in October 2025, which makes sense. Tan also gave a shout out to his co-stars Hiroyuki Sanada and Tanabaru, who were already legends when the first film came out, but have since become even more popular thanks to the success of the recent FX series Shogun. Hiroyuki Sanada is one of the legends, one of the best actors ever. If you haven't seen Shogun, definitely watch it. It's incredible. Tanabu, who plays Lord Raiden, is in Shogun. The Mortal Kombat game is nominated for Emmys, which is pretty incredible, Tan said. Directed like the first movie by Simon McQuaid, Mortal Kombat 2 is set, yeah, we already know. So yeah, that was pretty much interesting of what Louis Tan had to say, and I'm glad that he's more positive about the sequel than most fans are. And I know there's a lot of people out there that really want this franchise to die because of how bad the first movie turned out. Like, for those that are thinking that negative are the ones that are going to end up seeing this movie. Like, stop the cap. You know you're going to see this Mortal Kombat 2 sequel. Like, don't lie. So, just know that, like I say, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Cole Young, the character, but I respect the mess out of Louis Tan for giving us surprising information about the sequel. So I'm definitely here for it, and I'm excited about it. And yes, this article was a lot harder for me to read because there's so many words that I cannot pronounce, but I am trying my hardest to give you all the best information that you need. So like I said, when I stutter, I have to edit that out. So that's how you see most of my videos are when I read like articles like this, when I cannot get the words out. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Louis Tan talking about Mortal Kombat 2? Are you still excited about this? Let me know in the comments down below.